Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Chess Advance. And this game was played by two former world champions. With the white pieces, we have Mikhail Tal, and with the black pieces, we have Vasily Smyslov. And this game is from 1959 candidates. So you definitely, I'm sure all of you must know the scores of 1959 candidates. Tal dominated in it, and this game is is absolutely insane. And you're gonna love this game because it's an insane attacking game. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Here, Tal started with e4, and we have c6, d3, and just d5. Just going for the Caro-Kann defense prayer variation. We have knight to d2 and just e5. And now just knight g to f3. We have knight to d7 but just d4. Just pushing those pawns forward, not allowing black to have that advantage with pushing that pawn forward and going for the advanced variation. But here just d captures. We have knight captures, e captures, queen captures, and just knight g to f6. And here I think it's a little bit more annoying because when you can see that the bar is shooting up, but aside from that, you get white instant development because here the bishop can jump in, you can castle queenside, you can push those pawns, and you'll have an amazing attack going. And that's exactly what Tal did. Tal went for this bishop to g5. Here bishop d7 was played, and here just castles queenside, castles kingside. But you can see that white has castles, white has three more pieces. White has fourth piece who's going to attack on the king side. You can just push those pawns and you'll have a fantastic game. And even if black tries to attack on the queen side here, it's going to be a little bit too slow. Here just knight to d6, just finally going for that attack. Queen to a5, but just bishop to c4. And now another pieces has been developed. All Tal's pieces are developed and attack is just waiting to be happen. Here just b5, just pushing the bishop back. Here just bishop to d2, first attacking the queen. And here just queen to a6. We have knight to f5, first attacking that bishop. Before moving this knight, you could capture this, but you don't want to allow this. You're not going to like what happens if you allow that. Here bishop to d8, and here just queen to h4. Just finally going for that attack. We have b captures, just capturing that bishop, and Tal now is a bishop down. But here, I mean, even though Tal is a bishop down, this piece is not doing very much, so there is no point in him actually being a piece down because all his pieces are attacking, whereas this all of this is doing nothing. Here just queen to g5, just finally going for that checkmate. So here he defend this with knight to h5, and obviously with an attack on the queen, this can be captured, but there is no point in capturing that. Here just knight to h6 check first, and here just going for this king to h8, and now finally going for that captures also with a threat. And if you even dare in this position to go for this, then just bishop gets here and you open up this line, you're just toast. Yes, you can, I mean, you can try and push those pawn, but I don't think that's going to be very much effective. You can also defend that with the bishop, but this knight can jump in, the rooks can jump in, and it's going to be very much dangerous in the future. Here just queen captures on a2 was played, trying an attack of its own, but first the threat is just mate. So here you have to move this, so bishop to c3. Now this cannot be captured, it's not it's not a threat anymore. And here the best move in this position that you have to figure out is just bishop to c7. And the idea behind bishop to c7 is not actually, it does not lose control of any of those squares, so don't worry about it. But here after knight caps on f7, now you play this king to g8, and there is nothing in this position because that was a check and you just moved. And what do you do in this position? I mean, you can go again for this check, but there is not much you can do. There is no point in sacrificing it, obviously. I mean, you can capture this now, but there is no other way, because here if you go for knight to h6 back, king to h8, and there is nothing in this position. You can go for this and you're going to repeat the moves, and most probably it's going to be a draw. But here instead of this, here Smyslov thought the position is fine. White has nothing in this position, but with thinking that, he actually created the threat that he thought that was not there. He played this knight to f6, attacking the queen, but now you can see that the bar immediately shot up and it's a completely losing position. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try to figure out the move that Vasily Smyslov missed in his preparation, thinking that he was completely fine here. Have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. And the move is this beautiful queen captures on f7. Yes, sacrificing an entire queen because you cannot capture. If you capture, just rook captures, and here whatever you do, you can start giving up pieces once you give up that. And once you give that, you're going to get mated. So you cannot do that. So what can you do in this position? Here, he started with queen to a1 check. But once the king moves, now just rook captures. He captured the queen, and now you might be thinking this is close. So what is the idea here? The idea is very simple here. Knight captures on f7, the check first, and also going for this free bishop here. So now after king to g8, now you capture this rook captures on a1, first the queen, and then once the knight moves, now after king captures on f7, now you get this knight to e5 check. And if you look at the position here, the pawns, these are the double pawns. I mean, white is not even a pawn up in this position, but these look at just look at these pieces and just look at white's pieces. White's pieces are very much active, and black's pieces require at least 3 or 4 moves to get active. And that's exactly the point here, because these pawns can be captured in 3 or 4 moves, and this is not going to be very much easy. And you can see that's the reason why Tal has so much advantage in this position, because his attacks may not win directly, but his attacks creates end games which are absolutely winning. You'll get this crumbled, crushed position that no one wants to play, and you're going to be absolutely butchered after this. So here, king to e6, but now just knight caps on c6, just grabbing that pawn. Knight to e4 was played, but here just king to e3, bishop to b6 check, developing with the tempo, but here just bishop blocks. And if you trade in this position, then knight jumps in, your this piece is attacked. Yes, you can do that, but just the rook gets in the position, and this rook is easy to develop. First, you are an exchange down, first of all, and then with all these pieces, it's going to be very much difficult, and you don't have any compensation for the exchange. You don't have any pawns. Your pawns are going to be captured. White's pieces are much more active, and you're not going to be winning this. So here, after bishop to d4, unfortunately, on just move 26, Vasily Smyslov resigned the game, and Tal got this spectacular victory in just 26 moves. And if you're still unsure as to why Vasily Smyslov just resigned, even though the material almost seems to be equal aside from the being down in exchange, the idea is simple. Let's just fast forward a few more moves. Let's say Smyslov goes for this knight to c5. Then you have rook h to e1, king to d6, knight to a5, and now going for this bishop to a6. Both of these bishops now are doing something, not that much, but doing something. Here, king to d2, just getting out of that pin. Rook to d8, and now here king to c1, king to c7, bishop captures on g7, just grabbing that free pawn. Rook to g8, and just bishop to e5 check, king to d7, bishop to g3, and here just bishop to b5. Here, rook to a3, and now this rook gets in the game. You're gonna have a battery. This rook is very much visible, while white's king is just in the safe position, while this king is about to be butchered. Here, rook to g4, but now going for this f3, attacking the rook, king to g6, b4, and now just c captures. And here, after a move like knight captures, you play knight captures, rook captures, and you get this position where white has 2 rooks. The pawn, white is up 2 pawns, up the exchange in a completely winning position. You're going to trade 1 pair of rooks, and you'll be left with a rook and a bishop against 4 pawns, and in a completely vulnerable king, completely winning position. So Smyslov did indeed make the right position, right decision with resigning on move 26, because that's all he could do. It was a losing position, and no one wants to play such such disintegrated position. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned for that, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you.